Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. It is April 7th, it's about 5 or 10 to 10, somewhere in there. I don't know if my clock's right. Pacific time. And I'm doing something a little weird, hoping it'll save time and get to the same amount of clarity, which is I'm mixing the Omnito Lenormand with Radiant Rider-Waite, because the cards are exactly the same size. So I thought, why not? I'll try it. Although I can see that the Lennies, for some reason or another, are kind of wanting to stick together. So I'm trying to, yeah. I'll try. Let me try it this way. Ugh. A lot of cards, though. Yeah, we've got over 100. We've got 78 plus 36. But hey, I can do it. No petite hands over here. Okay. All right. So that feels clear and mixed. Let me tune in and I'll tell you the question. Due to all the global tariffs, due to the insanity that Trump has, or Felon 45, has leashed upon the planet, does he have a target on his back? Or head? Or whatever? How's this going to go for him? Health-wise, physical-wise. And what I'm going to do is 21 cards this way. So I'm going to like cartomancy the tarot, which is kind of breaking some rules, but whatever. We can make up our own. A lot of readers do. Okay. Donald John Trump. What is your future? What have you unleashed? Knowing, law of karma, cause and effect. With every action, we have reactions. We have consequences. Right there. Okay. Well, there's a spotlight. There's a spotlight. Now, I left the cards upright, so just so you could see. Yeah, changes from the past. And well, I'll read it both ways, because the cards around will clue us in as to who these people cards are. Yeah, that's challenging there. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. So at this point, we don't have the tower. So I get the feeling, we don't have the tower. We don't have the fox, which would be the, the little guy that comes in. We don't even have the Knight of Pentacles. So I think something's in process. I don't have like terrible clarity here. And with the clouds, there you go. So anyway, right at the heart of the matter is he's bringing attention upon himself, and he's also being seen as someone who is probably, of course, all you have to do is listen to him. I've done, I think, over 700 readings on him over the last 5 years, more actually. And I got, when I started right out from the get-go, that he was the demented demagogue, were the exact words that I heard before I even started my channel. So there's that. But at this point, I think he's definitely into Alzheimer's. And his dad, of course, died that way. I have no idea what sign Fred Trump was. And I have a feeling he was a Gemini, just like him, but I could be wrong. But so here we have the spotlight. If I were to look at this, as a reverse position, we would be talking about the lack of vitality pumping through, our country, basically. We've got the foundation down here of our country, and he's put it at risk up here. And with the lilies and the King of Cups, this is his old age. And I would think, honestly, because it's easy to do, I'll do this. This is him literally losing his mind. Because when we have the King of Cups coming through reversed, we're talking somebody who's volatile, really moody, and manipulating things based on his emotional mess, his moodiness. And to have that card, to have both of these cards together, I mean, anytime I get this card in a reading reverse, the Six of Cups, that is definitely Alzheimer's, and that's because they always go back to the past. It's based on unresolved childhood issues, and if you listen to them, they're always talking about the past. And the older they get, if they're a narcissist, if they're a born psychopath like him, I'm thinking it has to do with the fact that he's just going to get worse, much more volatile, emotionally volatile, and worse. And here he was out. He's seen now as somebody who was out friggin' golfing as the markets crashed, and here we've got the stress to the foundation and the absolute obstacle to all that is sacred in our country. And we all, we're all connected. We're all interdependent on each other as human beings and as countries. And he is causing major problems for the rest of the world. So as time goes by, because over here's the past, and then present, we've got, the core of the issue here. As time goes by, he's literally just upsetting any balance with our global trade partners. See with the Three of Wands here. This is the enterprise of putting our ships out in the water. This is import, export. Do they come back? I think not, because the clouds are here. And, that's dark. That is really dark. Now, the Strength card, I think, is another one which should have been reversed, because we know that he's not strong, but he is changing the strength of our economy, of the pump of the the pump of our economy. And we all know he's tied to Russia, right? And we all know that it's a shell game for him. Which shell company are they all pulling from? And that's what's at the top of the problem with the tower. The tower in the Lennies has a completely different meaning. If anyone here is new to the Lennies, the tower is our institution. It's our boundaries. It's also a card of literally, I'll give it 19 days. It's also a card of isolation. So the change that is coming to the pumping of our, the life into our country is isolation. We are going to be isolated. And it may be less than 19 days. People in other countries won't trust us. No tariffs on Russia, though. He can't negotiate his way out of this. The four corners indicate that there's stress and tons of talk. This is, literally looking at the market, the foundation of the market. Families and farmers are going, whoa, what do I have inside, my urn, my pantry, people that didn't see it coming months ago, because, he said he was going to do it. And we all thought, oh, he's just crazy. It's, crazy, demented Donnie talking again, only full-on Alzheimer's at this point. And so this is the old age card. So stress, and especially stress for families who rely on their retirement savings to be there, See, that's the thing is, the older you get, the less possibility you have for making up, when the market drops so bad, it takes years to recover that same amount of money. Now, most younger people have not been able to be in the stock market, so they don't have the money in there, but it's the older people, and it's all right here, that are the most stressed and at risk. And here he is out golfing. We cannot stress this enough. He was golfing at a leave tournament which is a Saudi-backed company, and there were probably Saudis there. I don't know. I don't watch anything. I can't stand looking at him. Can't stand hearing his voice. But that's what he does. He's demented, and he just goes and plays, and he's in his emotional reaction, just trying to, with his emotional vitality, he has manipulated the market. Not good. So in the future, things are cloudy. Let me see. I want to do something a little bit different here, actually. Now that we have that baseline there, and let's do, no, hold on. Do I want the Kipper? No, maybe. No, actually, yeah, I think I'll do this one. So the Gilded Reverie, Linneman. And maybe I can get some timing, like how bad this is going to be, how long it may take. Let's look at the future of this tariff situation. Because the future over here, the clouds were too murky, or the cards were too murky. We had the clouds, and we had the Seven of Cups. The only thing down here that was at the heart of the matter was to stay balanced. And, yeah. Okay, how's the market going to go? How long is it going to be this way? How bad is it going to get? When may we have some recovery? And meanwhile, whoa, is it how many millions of people were out voting for hands off? Voting, what am I saying? Out protesting for hands off? The 50-51? It's like, wow. Can't wait to watch Rachel Maddow tonight, because I'm sure they'll have some really good footage. But there's a lot already on YouTube. Okay, right there. Right there. Well, he don't look like that, but that's him. Ooh. So, there's, well, you know what? Hold on, let me get the rest of the cards laid out. Yeah, ooh, oh. These cards are a little bit smaller, I guess. There we go. There. Hopefully that's helpful. So you can see the imagery. Yeah. Wow, that's not good. Oh, yeah. There's the circus of his mind with all the leaks. Oh, yeah. Okay, but the process of the tariffs, I have to remember. That was the context of the question. How's it going? It's going to go, yeah, it's round and around. It's going to bite them in the wherevers. Yeah, okay. So what we have is, so he's right at the center of it. I mean, to have his card flop out right in the beginning is pretty amazing. So he's at the center of the whole thing. They're not so much blaming, other countries aren't blaming us, they're blaming him, right? They see him as the crazy guy, he's lost his mind. You know, I mean, look at this. And maybe this is well, actually, this is my reminder here on one level that, because I see the eyes rolling up and the glitching, and, you know, I'm thinking Elon. I'm thinking, what does Libby call him? Fleon and his glitching, but he has spoken out and said he doesn't, so they're kind of breaking apart. Melania is even rolling her eyes at him. So so Trump, no wonder we had that King of Cups up there. No wonder, because he's feeling like, where's my support? He's always wanting Melania around, and she, you know, he has to pay for that. So that's weighing down on him. And he's feeling less than, he's feeling minimized, he's feeling weak. And people around the world will see him as this abusive grifter. And other people eventually will start thinking, like, why is he doing this? What does he get out of it? Well, remember, it's all for Putin. No tariffs on Russia. On the penguins in Australia, but not Russia. And it's the gift to Putin, right there, and it's his alliance with Putin. And he is looking towards, I read directionally, so he's looking towards the guilt being seen and examined and revealed of his connection with Putin. So this is where things start heating up. No wonder we had the sun in the middle of the tarot, or the other reading, because the sun heats things up and reveals. It's also a card of, on the dark side, you know, major narcissism and psychopathy, which that's him. So anywho, he is going to, as time goes on and people, you know, mull through all of this, he's going to, these cards are coming up behind him. He doesn't have any control over and sneaking up on him. He's going to be betrayed. It's going to keep going around and around. He may back off some. He may go into his, because remember, his mind is gone, and so he's not trustworthy. They know that. It's the fun house in there. Not really fun, but it ain't working. And his, you know, even his vitality and his emotional bodies are just completely, like his solar essence and his what do you call, you know, just emotional makeup are at odds. They're disparate parts. So it's gonna go around and around. He's going around and around. The more time goes by, they're gonna see how abusive he is, and he's gonna repeatedly, the process will be with these tariffs, he will repeatedly smack back. Things will go around, we'll get bit, he gets bit, and as time goes by, he becomes more and more isolated. and guilty and seen as being in bed with Putin. Let's see, what else? He's still going to have some loyal idiots, those, the GOP that just won't let go, but they're going to go down with him because look at this line up here. The focusing in and diving into details and seeing exactly everything that's going on. And this goes with the astrology. We have the South Node in Virgo, which is examining all the facts. And his ties, the anchor ties to something. What is it tied to? Putin. So all of that is going to be revealed even more. And then people are going to make choices accordingly. Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of evidence that comes out. And mature, wise people are going to see what's going on. And so it's just going to go around and around, around and around again. And again, the grifting, maybe even by Easter. The lilies for timing and the Lennies is a wintertime card. But I trust you guys. You keep commenting, what about Easter? It's like, yeah, you're right. Why not? We can change up the rules a little bit here and there. We can make additions. And anyway, Easter this year is April 20th. That's not, that's less than 19 days. But, these 4 cards here at the corner frame in the reading. So I would say between Easter and friggin' Melania, I hate it when she comes through because it's like, who friggin' cares? But it's just showing that because she's up here with control over him. They're looking the opposite direction. They're not together. And that is stress on him. That is a burden on him. All he has to look for is guilt and burdens. And people will be examining even more, and it affects his vitality. And yeah. So, but anyway, maybe that's interesting. I'm wondering if maybe Melania. I don't think she would want to be talking to Putin. But here, isn't this interesting? Like, from the center out to the corners. His brain, as far as mental awareness, this is an older person, right? His brain is feeling him, is betraying him, or his old age, I should say, because this card doesn't relate to the brain, but it does relate to old age. Old age does have cognitive decline. We know that he's had many, many problems in the past, and he's been addicted to Adderall, used to be a big old cocaine user. And who knows what damage drugs do like that. Over the years when it's repetitive, and who knows what he uses to get to sleep at night. So we do know for sure there's cognitive decline that is betraying his body. Melania's long gone. Putin is in control. Putin is the big boss man here. And that will be coming out because we have the storks. It will show eventually. There's going to be more and more proof coming out about Trump's choice and maybe even Putin's support with the election and the alliance in the election, because we've got this examination card right here, the magnifying glass right in the center of this 9 box. Guilt about the election and the gift that Putin gave. Whoa. And the improvements and the change on the election, the improvements for Trump and the change to the election. by Putin right here. Wowee. You know, you never know when you start off doing something what kind of an answer with these readings, and I never know what I'm going to get. But who would think? I bet you he didn't think that playing around with tariffs would reveal elections, theft, guilt, Russia. People are talking. It's going to bite him. He'll be isolated. So, but for us, what are you going to do? If you've got money in the stock market, you have to just, unless you need it to live, you have to just leave it there and wait for years and years to recoup. If you're 90 years old and not thinking that you're going to make it back up within 10 years, I guess it goes to your children or your heirs or whatever. What are you going to do? You can't. There's nothing you can do unless you want to sell it. But now you've already lost. How much have you already lost is the question. And man, people are going to be pissed, really pissed. Because it's dropping every day. I don't even know what it is this morning. I don't really check those things because I don't have any fundage there. But yeah, tanking the global markets, because he's such a businessman. No, he's not. He's claimed bankruptcy 6 times. He couldn't borrow money from the United States anymore and went to Deutsche Bank. And if it weren't that he got in, if it weren't for the GOP and this ridiculous rule that if you're president, you can get away with anything, if it weren't for the GOP and SCROTUS messing everything up, he would be in jail. It is way past his jail time. And he's guilty. So the news is going to keep pumping these things out because everybody needs to know it. And if they're just headstrong on watching Fox News only, well then, what do you do? You can't do anything when they're adults. It's like you can't protect your children when they've grown up and they're making decisions on their own. So people can't think for themselves. Okay, I'm thoroughly flabbergasted here, and but I am happy to see that the truth will out here, over here. The truth about the election will out, and Putin is guilty. Putin is guilty, and there will be big changes for him with his vitality. These monsters don't live forever. So, okay, well, that's all I have. Sending you love and peacefulness. We are peaceful warriors. That's what Neptune and Aries is all about. Peaceful, spiritual warriors. Okay, bye.